Good morning, 47. Your target is Perty Janefeld, bookkeeper to the global underworld and considered to be a criminal myth by law enforcement agencies the world over. In truth, the target has led an unassuming yet comfortable life, managing the finances of kleptocracies, terrorists, and tyrants for decades. The client, Loxley, has assembled information on the target's movements and conclusively linked him to the shadow client's operations in Colorado. This makes his elimination a priority. The client has also requested that you retrieve the target's ledger. Note that the target is extremely paranoid and will attempt to flee at the first sign of overt danger. Plan accordingly. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck.
Yo, what's up guys, my name is Mr. Freeze2244 and welcome to the Elusive Target Arcade, the Clutches. I'm going to show you all 5 levels done Silent Assassin. The timestamps are going to be in the description if you want to skip to each to one particular one. It's up to you. However, I'm going to go through all of them in order, of course, starting with the Bookkeeper. So the only complication throughout the whole thing is you have to basically do headshots only if you are shooting an NPC. So we're going to use the default loadout as usual, and yeah, this is basically how you do it. Now with the default loadout, it is a little bit tricky. It only really prevents us getting down to using the propane flask, which is what we're going to do. So as we're coming over to this area here, we're going to turn off that generator and then turn it back on, and we're going to wait for the guard to come over because we're going to take his disguise. The reason why we turn it back on is because we don't want to distract anybody else after we've knocked him out. So we're just going to go ahead and subdue him and then drag his body and put him in the nearby crate. Once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and take his disguise. Now we've got this, we're going to head towards the shed. That's just by all the SUVs and stuff like that. And then inside is going to be a propane flask. And we're going to use that to take out the target. Now, the target isn't always going to walk down this road where we are. So if he is not going to be walking in the direction that I'm going to show you, then you're going to have to restart. Because that's just the way it is, because he has a random loop. So that's just how it is, unfortunately. So the propane flask is going to be in the shed right here. Let's go ahead and grab that. Now if he's not walking in this location here, you're going to have to restart. But if he is, then you're just going to drop the propane flask right about there. He's going to pull out, I think he's going to be fiddling around on his phone, I think he is. So we're going to shoot that propane flask once. And then once he gets near it, we're going to go shoot it again and it'll take him out. We have to go and get this the ledger after that as well, so use your instinct to figure out where he is, and if he's close, go ahead and shoot that. And then you just want to follow my direction of where I'm going, because there's going to be a couple of enforcers around the entire site, so just need to be careful, really. We are going to go acquire ourselves a second disguise so we can freely roam around the house, because that's where the ledger is going to be. And just by this lorry over here, there's going to be a crowbar. You want to grab it. Go ahead and grab that. Once you grab that, go and put the disguise on. And now we can enter the house freely. Just be careful of the camera before you enter the building. I'm going to stay in this blind spot as we enter the door. So there's going to be a couple of enforcers up here. There's going to be one roaming around the area. So what we're going to do is just wait here in this location, wait for the guard to go past us to the left, and then we're going to make our way up the stairs and go around, and then we're going to break into the bathroom because it's a locked door. So that's what the crowbar is for. There we go. We can make our move now. Break into this bathroom and pass through to the room. Now there's another guard in that room. Like I said, you're pretty better off just wait for him to move back over towards the left, because he's going to spot you otherwise. And once he's there, we can break over in this safe and grab the contents, which is going to be the ledger. Now you just want to go make your way down the stairs. Just keep an eye out for the enforcers and see where they are. Once we exit the building, just again be careful of the camera. Watch the grid, and once it pans to the right, we're going to move to the left, so we don't get spotted by this grid. And then we're going to jump over this little ledge. I'm going to head towards that exit in the east location. Because if we go down there, the south, we are going to get spotted by a camera. And because we didn't take the cameras out, that's going to be a problem. So I'm going to take this exit over here. It's a safe one anyway.
Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Sergei Larin. He is an accomplished art forger and has been copying and selling the museum's crown jewels for years. Both museum and artwork are owned by his wife, Simone Larin, and have been in her family for generations. While his wife is in New York with an excellent alibi, you have a window of opportunity to eliminate the target. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck.
For level 2 we have the Forger from Hitman 1, and again the headshots only thing is still the only complication. I'm going to start with the default loadout again at the red carpet, and this is how you do it. It's one of the easiest elusive targets to deal with, so you don't have to worry about too much, but the first things first, we need to get into the basement, and we need to acquire ourselves a couple of disguises to get this to work. So the first thing we need to do is go into the basement, like I said. Going to be a stylist walking up the corridor, so as long as we're fast enough we can get in this other room without getting spotted. I'm going to pass through the basement and we're going to grab this crowbar. Make our way through this area, past the kitchen and into this room on the right. I'm going to climb the staircase a couple of levels, and there's going to be a tech crew member up there. What we're going to do is knock him out and take his disguise. As you're passing through this next area, there's going to be a couple of security guards down there at the end. We're going to wait for them to move out of the way first before we take out the camera that's just above them. So when they move away, we can go ahead and take that camera out. Once we put our pistol away, we can now walk, run past these two guys on the right, and then move into the room. In the next room, there's going to be the target himself and a bodyguard. There's also going to be a guy just hanging around there, but we're just going to wait for him to come to this room that we just left. So what we're going to do is knock out the guard, and then quickly take out Sergei Larin.
Good job. I think it's time we make some money, don't you?
Well done, 47. The money has been wired to your account.
Now once we've done that, we can leave the bodies there. They're not going to be found. But once we do exit here, what we're going to do is take out that camera at the end. And once we've done that, we can now go through that door and head straight to the exit. Just quite an easy elusive target really overall. But this was the very first elusive target that was in Hitman 1. So this is the very first guy that got introduced. It's the first guy to be a part of the elusive target concept. Back when there was only 48 hours to take out your targets.
Good evening, 47. Your target is Wen Tsai, the highly influential Southeast Asian food critic. He is notorious for his sadistic attention to detail and relentless criticism of the smallest errors. The client is the partner of a Singaporean chef driven to suicide by the target's cruel response to a bottle of over-chilled ice water. We have learned that the target will be at the Hitman Hotel in Bangkok, where he plans to review that hotel's award-winning cuisine. Complicating matters, the target has recently retained a private security team in response to his increasing notoriety. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck.
For level 3, we have the food critic in Bangkok, so again, the same complications apply. So we're going to use the default loadout like I've been doing. Start the riverside landing, and what we're really going to need to do is make our way upstairs. We are going to need a disguise for this one, for the default loadout method. And yeah, so if we work our way around the building, circle our way around, there's going to be a pipe we'll come across on the left, just be on this guard. So you want to go ahead and climb that all the way up to just to the balcony, the first one you reach. And then we're going to climb along the ledge all the way onto the opposite side, because there's going to be a guy coming out here now. So we don't want to get spotted by him, so we're working our way all the way around this ledge so we can climb up this side. Go ahead and climb up, open this door, and then we're going to chuck a coin at the wall. We're doing that to distract the guard to get him to come into the room. We're going to hide behind this sofa. So once he comes into the room and he has his back to us, we're going to go ahead and knock him out. We can leave his body there, but we're going to grab his pistol and the other coin and then go and grab his disguise. Now we got this, we're going to head straight to where the target is.
Nice to know you were here, sir.
Now ultimately what we need to do is get rid of his guard. And unfortunate timing is that we have the waiter right here talking to him. So we're going to wait for this conversation to finish. And then we're going to place this gun right in front of the guard. He's going to take the gun away. And that is when we're going to set the trap for Wen Tsai.
There is the most terribly acrid stench in the air. Tile cleaner or some such. Are you wearing cologne?
Well, my girlfriend's a perfumier, and she,
Stop it. Are you trying to kill me? Is this some sick joke? You know I am coming to visit your little establishment, and you decide, lovely, let me utterly cack all over it. Is that it?
I assure you, sir, I never thought
I can barely breathe, you beast. I shall have to recalibrate my entire experiential baseline. But don't you think for one moment that your little trick will work? Nobody fools Wen Tsai. You shan't conceal this mediocre experience beneath the reek of tile cleaner.
Like I said, go ahead and place it in front of the guard.
You got
Eventually he'll notice it. There we go. Then we're going to take a coin and place it right on the balcony. You can use the shoulder buttons to place the coin if you're on console. And once he starts walking away, we're going to bump into the target and get him to see this coin. If you're worried about the people looking at you down below, you can wait for them to move away before pushing them if you'd like, but it's completely up to you. But if you do get spotted, just make sure you close the application on your console, or Alt F4 if you're on PC, and then you can give us another go. But yeah, if you are new to this series, you've seen the body being found, and you might be wondering why I've still got Silent Assassin. It's because it's an accident kill, and accident kills, it doesn't apply to that rule of bodies being found spawning your Silent Assassin. So that's the reason why poison kills and accident kills are so powerful in this game. That's the reason why I tend to go for those options more.
Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Walter Williams, an up-and-coming fashion model with a history of blackmail. He is currently in Paris, participating in the Sanguine fashion show. The target is carrying a memory stick containing information he used to blackmail a former lover. The client asks that you locate and retrieve this memory stick. As a model, the target will be on the catwalk, but he will almost certainly also spend some time amongst the event's guests. This year's Sanguine collection features heavy facial makeup, so mark your target carefully. The clock is ticking. Good luck, 47.
So for level 4 we have the Blackmailer, and we have to make sure we retrieve the memory stick as well. So again, default loadout, nothing's changed.
Confirm that the target is scheduled for several.
So the first thing that we're going to need to do is acquire ourselves a disguise, and we're going to follow our Walter Williams around for a little bit, and then we're going to create a distraction for him to isolate him so we can take him out quickly. So first thing we need to do is enter the basement. There's going to be a stylist walking down the corridor, but if we're quick enough we can get into the opposite room before he sees us. Inside this locker room there's going to be a waiter's disguise. Go ahead and take that. Once we've done that, we can now make our way through this basement area. There's no enforcers down there, so you don't have to worry about it. Anyone spotting you or anything like that. We're just gonna get off at the very first floor here. I'll move all the way around this area.
I think you'd look good at just about anything.
We're gonna let this guy pass through the kitchen first, and then shut the door behind him. Once we're done that, we're gonna knock out this waiter here. We're doing this so he doesn't get in the way of our later distraction that we pull off later on. Hide him in this closet, and then what we're going to need to do now is go and find Walter Williams. And then we're just going to tail him for a little bit.
All I'm asking is that you give me.
So this is Walter Williams. We are going to need to follow him around a little bit, but you can tell it's him by his Superman haircut that he's got there. But yeah, we need to just tail him until he goes onto the catwalk. And then I'll explain what you have to do after that. So after a couple of minutes he's going to hit the catwalk, and again you're going to have to be a little bit more patient with this because it does take him a while for actually to go onto the catwalk. But ultimately what we need to do is just wait for him to finish his run really. So here we are on the opposite side. What we're going to do right now is bump into him, so any of the other models have got a bit of a gap between him and the other models. Once you've got a bit of a gap, we're going to enter this bathroom here real quick and then overflow this sink. This should create a distraction for him. Once he comes to investigate, we're going to go ahead and take him out. We're going to use the fiber wire for this. Stay crouched as you do this, otherwise you might see you in the mirror.
Target down.
He drops the memory stick on the floor, so make sure you grab that before you leave.
Well done, 47.
We're just going to take the main entrance as the exit as well, because it's the safest one to get to from this point really. You can head to the basement if you'd like, it's up to you which exit you want to take. Might actually even be a little bit faster if you want.
Good evening, 47. Your target calls himself Mr. Giggles and operates an underground circus called the Soirée Horrible. Attractions include animal fights, deadly blood sports, and other choreographed violence. We are uncertain why he is in Marrakesh, only that he is somewhere in the city center. You will need to locate him on the ground and engage at your discretion. He should be simple enough to spot at least. The client requires that in addition to eliminating the target, you also acquire his client list. Given the target's personality, he is unlikely to manage such matters himself, so you will need to discover its location on site. The clock is ticking, 47. Good luck.
And finally we have the entertainer for level 5. So again, same complications. The only difference between our loadout this time is we're not bringing along our pistol, so unequip that before you start the mission. So the first thing we're going to do is get the guest list, and we need to do a few things to set all this stuff up, because with our default loadout, there's a lot of things we have to do to jump through a lot of hoops to get this all done. So what we're going to do is head over to this area over here, and we're going to grab some rat poison. It's going to be laying in this open shop. Grab this rat poison, and we need to poison this shop owner here, this shopkeeper. She holds a key for us to get access to the shop in front of us, and that's what we need to do. We need to grab that key. So to do that, we're going to poison this water bottle, and we're going to take care of it a little bit later on. Next, we need to get into the cafe. So this waiter that's standing in front of us right now, we're going to wait for him to move to the right before we jump over this wall. Grab the little invitation that's on the table on the left, and head into the cafe and show your invitation to one of the guards.
Excuse me, I have to pop out for a bit. Business. I can't come back in.
Thank you.
When you're inside the cafe, we're going to head to the bathroom. Inside the bathroom there's going to be rat poison and a wrench. Grab them both. Now, we need to take out a woman in a black dress. So she's currently sipping some champagne at the bar. She has the guest list on her. So we need to get that guy's waiter's disguise, so we can actually take her out. So we're actually gonna poison her. So we need to be a little bit patient for all of this. Unfortunately, because it's the only way to get a waiter's disguise when you got no equipment with you. So we're going to wait in this location here. That waiter is going to be circling around this cafe, and what we're actually going to do is distract him in this area, because there's going to be a radio in there. So we're going to turn the radio on, create a distraction for him, and turn it off before he comes back in the room. And then we're going to hide and then grab his disguise after we knock him out. So go ahead and turn it on as he's making his way over here. Turn it back off, and then we're going to hide in the crate. So when he comes over and he's got his back to us, we're going to whack him in the head with a wrench.
And experiencing things like this, it's not like anything else. You see it.
Then once we've done that, we're going to put him in the crate and then take his disguise. Next thing we need to do is go ahead and poison this glass of champagne. And then while she finishes her loop to get back down to that glass of champagne, we're going to head into this bathroom here. This is the woman we poisoned earlier. We're going to shut the door behind us and whack her in the head with the wrench. She's going to drop the key on the floor, so grab that and put her body in the crate. Once we leave the cafe, we're going to go around the corner and grab the truck key that's laying on the table. We're going to need that for the exit. Now we're going to go and get the lethal poison. So with the shop key that we got earlier, we're going to enter the shop that was in front of us, where the woman was drinking a bottle of water. That's where we're heading. So use the key on this door, and onto your left there's going to be a little table with a lethal poison pill jar in it. Grab that. And now we're going to head back to the cafe.
Someday you may own your own.
Hey there, waiter.
So we're currently just waiting for the woman to come back over. She's right over there at this point in time. She can be quite slow, unfortunately. So she's going to head to the bathroom now to be sick, and what we're going to do is go ahead and knock her out as well. She's going to drop the guest list, and that's going to complete one of the objectives. I'm going to make sure we hide her body in the crate as well. Next thing we're going to need to do now is take out our targets. So what we're going to do is head over to where the shop, where he actually is. You're going to need to get frisked before you enter the area though. And the door is going to be locked, and you're going to have to wait for the shopkeeper to actually open the door for you. Otherwise we can't get in.
So, how is the carpet business? I just need to frisk you, sir. Surprisingly good. You know, tourists, they'll go a lot easier if you just show me what you're hiding.
So once we've passed the frisk, we're going to stand right next to the door until she opens it. There we go. Make your way all the way up the stairs, and in the corner of the area there's going to be 2 glasses. Go ahead and poison the one to the left. Once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and go straight to the exit and wait there at the exit, because that's overall it's going to take care of itself. It's going to take a few minutes for that to work though, because he has a long conversation with someone else. You can stand there if you want and listen to the conversation, but I'm not interested. So I'm going to head over to the exit right now and just skip out the waiting time. So you want to make your way over to this truck over here. And after a few minutes, he gets poisoned.
Target down. I'm sure he would have preferred a larger audience.
And then we can exit the mission and get ourselves a nice silent assassin rating, and that will wrap up the Elusive Target Arcade. Eliminate the clutches. Completed. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to drop a like on this video if it helped you out, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Hit the bell notification to be notified of all future videos and live streams, and consider supporting me on Patreon, or even becoming a member of the channel by clicking the join button below, clicking the link in the description. So I want to say a big shout out to my Psycho Assassin members, Arjal, Paul, Bedry, Mark Davis, Constantine Mueller, Wandering Wendy, and Ghost Warrior. I really appreciate all the support. Thank you very much. I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.